Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new live stream. What am I doing? Welcome to the Who Bulletin, our weekly Doctor Who news show over here, where we talk about the latest episode of Doctor Who, and all the latest news, reviews and all that sort of lovely, lovely stuff. We are here, and we are a bit late. The reason we're a bit late is because, if you must know, Transport for London did me massively dirty, and I didn't have the time to get back and set up in time, which is great. So I've just rushed through the door, made a little quick thumbnail, and here we are. I have a monster, and as tradition may say, on the eve of Sutek's return, lol, we have a pork pie as well. Welcome. Let's have a look at what we're saying. Welcome to Dr. Master, Just Alexa, alternate 13th. Doing my levers shirt right now. It's so tedious. Levers shirt. Is that like one of those things where you wear it as like a shirt when you're leaving something and then they will sign it? What? Tell me more. Hey humans, welcome Master Scarlo. How are we doing today? So, on the itinerary, if you're new here, which you're probably not, let's be fair. If you are new, say hello. I'd love to say hello back. A literal truth. Best corporate lip service ever. Disney made the Doctor gay for Pride, and I'm so happy about it. I'm game. I loved it. I honestly, like, spoiler alert, favourite of the series, probably. I need to rewatch it. That is rewatch pending. But for me, oh my god, I loved it. I felt so much joy watching it, and I was so delighted with the direction that it went in and all that sort of thing. Before we get into that, I'm still saying hello to everyone. So hello to Trek Matt, hello Ben Newbolt. Last day of school on the 18th, and I'm doing the diamond logo out of these tiny gems. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. I like that. Good luck with that. Can't wait to see you on Who's There next Thursday. Exactly. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a bit of an exciting one. Oh god, yeah, I am doing that, aren't I? You know, one of those things that I just like completely forgotten. I didn't know that had been announced, but hey ho, here we are. Did I forget to retweet something? I feel really bad now. Oh shit. I am doing that. Yeah. But I forgot. Shit. That's good. But no, I'm definitely doing that, and I'm so excited about it. I just forgot to share that out. I must have missed when that was put out there, so that's good, isn't it? I don't know when I missed that, but oh well, that's fun, isn't it? Yeah, that is going to be exciting. I am excited for that. It's been a long time since I've been on someone else's podcast, so I'm looking forward to that very much. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Shelters so iconic, love them. Hi George, great to be watching live for a change. Welcome Empo Ever After, welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching live, very much appreciate it. And thank you for being a viewer if you've watched before and not live. I do really appreciate that as well. I find it hard to believe that anyone would choose to sit and watch me waffling without a script for an hour, not live. But I really, really do appreciate it, and it's very heartwarming to know, so thank you very much. Rogue felt like the most normal episode so far, and honestly, it was pretty refreshing. This is completely in agreement. Yes. Yeah. Good stuff. I haven't seen his recent video, so that will be exactly why. Who's my dream guest on my podcast? I hate that I get the reference. I really hate that I get that reference. Calm as a bitch. Transport's been a nightmare for me in Glasgow too. I have 2 routes to work. One road is closed, the other is down to a single file for roadworks. That's fun. Just joined the stream. How are you doing? I'm doing good, thank you, Dr. Who Mania. How are you? Yeah, just sort of doing the little vague introductions there, but we are, as per, if you're familiar with this stream, or if you're not, we start by going over to do a Who-dle. What's a Who-dle? A Who-dle is a show. It's a game online made by a fan, I believe. It's a brilliant one. You basically get one photo for like a Doctor Who episode, and you have to guess what it is. And they're very difficult, some of them, and some of them are quite easy, some of them are quite difficult. But for these, we have some relatively difficult ones, so let us do that. So, Basically, you have to guess exactly what it is. I don't do it for a whole week, so I can do 7 here on stream every week. It's a fun little thing. I'm glad we're doing it. I wouldn't know about this if it wasn't for our wonderful Discord server community. Thank you all there, by the way. I'm not as active as I was, but I will be soon. I've just been very busy, but very, very excited to see that. But if you are interested in joining our little Discord server community, that is linked in the description below, so do check that out if you haven't already. This episode, it's pre-Whittaker because it's got the aspect ratio. Always a good way to tell. I think it's Angels Take Manhattan. Oh, I mean, come on. That is stunning. I probably wouldn't have got it from that. I would have got it from that because that's New York. That's, yeah, the Angel from that. And then, yeah, obviously, yeah. But I remember he's in the basement, isn't he? Lovely. I mean, it's got to be Tooth and Claw, isn't it? No, it hasn't. Okay. So, maybe Smith and Jones, because it's the moon? Maybe not, then. Torchwood access denied. So it's got to be maybe Series 2. It's definitely Series 2, but I'm trying to work out what episode. I'm really losing my mind here. Maybe Rise of the Cybermen? I don't know, actually. I'm getting really... Oh, no, it's... Oh, it is! I can't believe I didn't spot the bloody moon. It's the fucking school reunion. Because the Krillotine flies into shot here. That's the car, I think, that Mickey drives, maybe. That's just generic Series 2. That is 100% Krillotine, so it's school reunion. Wonderful. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get that on the first one, to be honest. So it's a Cyberman 1... Whittaker era, because it's, well, the design of the Cybermen, but also the aspect ratio. So it's got to be, I think, Timeless Children, no? Oh, no! Oh, it's fucking Once Upon Time. Yes! Clever. Yeah, very good. 3 Doctors. Okay. That's clever. That's clever, and I think I know what it is. Zygon Invasion. Come on. I've not even seen that episode in years. 100%, yeah. Because it's the intro is recapping the 60th. The 60th? The 50th. God, I'm old. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that was happening. This one is interesting to me. I think this is Time Heist. Oh, come on. This shit is too easy, man. What are we talking about? That's fantastic. 98. Okay, that could be fucking anything. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to lie. That's a hard one. Yeah, thankfully I'm not reading the chat all the time when I do these, just in case people do spoil it. 98. Wedding of River Song. I think it's Matt Smith era, maybe, but then maybe not. Impossible Astronaut. I think, because the opening they're watching TV. No, it's not. I'm completely wrong. Oh my god, it's midnight. And I have no memory of... Oh, when they're scanning the bloody screen. It's projection. I can see that now. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's so annoying. I thought I knew. I thought I'd been so bloody clever with that one. Family of Blood. Because it's when he throws that person down the hole, isn't it? Yeah. Class act. Love that one. All just photos of David Tennant. That's great. We did that one last week, and I can't remember which one it is. I thought it was Day of the Doctor, but it might not be. No, you know what? I think it's a Zygon Inversion. Maybe. No, it is Day of the Doctor. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I just go with my instinct on that one? What the fuck am I doing? Very silly. Very silly. Yeah, that could be fucking anything. Extremis? No, it's not. It's no, it's fucking yeah. Demons of the Punjab. We did this one last week. I do remember this now because the water pissed me off because I couldn't get it. Anyway, there we go. That's our weekly Who-dle. We'll be doing some more Doctor Who games in a little bit when we play 13 towards the end of the stream. Before we do that, I'm going to open up a few questions. I'm going to start by going, well, give me your sort of... I tell you what, let's make this a new little feature here. Give me your one-word review of Rogue while I eat a pork pie. And I will read your responses after. Just have a little think. Give me one word to sum up your opinion on the last Doctor Who episode, Rogue. No music's a bit awkward, isn't it? That's good. There's some good ones here. Bridgerton, right. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So yeah, let's go through the answers here. Keep giving me your one-word reviews. Dr. Master Poker Face is a great one. Mr. Scarlo said fantastical. Dr. Master said gay. Literal Truth said gay in a good way, obviously. Dr. Master said sing. Dan Toothpick said Bridgerton. Ultimate 13 says fun. These aren't one word. Where do you think this Rogue character will go, and what are your theories where this era is going? I don't know. I think we'll see Rogue again. I also think they're going to retcon Rogue a little bit, because they didn't reveal his real name, where he came from, what species he was, all that sort of thing, who his boss was. I think there's a lot there that they can work with, and I think that very much reveal that person to be something we know or don't know or something like that. Either way, could be quite interesting. And yeah, I see them doing it. I see them going in that direction. I definitely see Jonathan Groff coming back as Rogue. What a compelling character, and I love. See, for me, the whole thing with love interests in the Doctor is very interesting. Pardon me, very interesting. I don't like a Doctor companion relationship, right? I didn't want. I'm not a big fan of the Doctor and Rose. I'm not a big fan of the Doctor and Clara. I'm not really much of a fan of that. I can understand why a companion would fancy the Doctor, but it feels odd for the Doctor to reciprocate that. And it's like, it's complete. I'm not trying to criticize anyone. If you ship any of these Doctor companion duos, that's absolutely fine. By the way, these are fictional. Completely fictional characters. The reason I don't like it personally, and it's no bearing on you guys, like, do not take this personally or to heart, but it's just explaining why I don't like it, is it feels a little bit groomy. You know, these are like sort of 19, 20-year-olds, women from Earth, and, you know, the Doctor is sort of showing them the universe. If he's getting that, I mean, it's alright for the companion to fancy the Doctor, that's to be expected almost, but the other way around feels a bit odd. It's like a sort of position of power thing, which I don't really quite like. But that being said, what I do like the Doctor sort of mixing with is like historical figures and time travelers and people who are aliens, right? River Song, perfect for me, perfect, because she's a character who's a time traveler, meets the Doctor out of order, is already very, very intriguing personality wise, and over a lot of character development and familiarity, we get to know the Doctor and River Song's relationship, and I think that's fascinating. And here with Rogue, I loved it. On various levels. Not only is it some really, really good queer representation in Doctor Who, which, let's be fair, we've needed for a long time. And a lot of people reported that it was the first same-sex kiss in Doctor Who, which is just completely wrong by about almost 20 years, which is crazy. I kind of like the angle that they went with it, and I kind of like the direction they took with it. I like that. I'm not a big Bridgerton fan. I'm not a big sort of fan of that era, yet it was my favourite episode, and I think that's basically all down to the chemistry between Rogue and the Doctor, and how well those performances cemented themselves. It was really well done and really believable, that sort of relationship, in a way that the Doctor hasn't been before. This Ncuti's Doctor, is a very emotionally available and very open, wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I really like that. It doesn't hide much. He does suppress and sort of crack on, but he does talk about stuff, and I think that's important, and I love that because of that he's able to express his sort of feelings of kind of fancying this person just immediately, and I think that's really interesting, and it's great to have some proper like gay representation in Doctor Who. As I've said, I know we've had characters who are gay, but I think there's a big difference between having a character who is sort of said to be gay and sort of seeing it so naturally portrayed here. It's like, look, I love what they did with Bill, and Bill was a great character, you know, one of my favourite companions actually, and she did have an on-screen same-sex love interest, and I think that's absolutely brilliant, and I love what they did with that. But what I didn't like was it was like the dialogue around it when, I think was it in The Doctor Falls? I think she sort of says, like, as the Doctor was leaving, it's sort of like, oh, you know how I've always been interested in women and people my own age, and the Doctor's like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, just wanted you to know that. It's like kind of those little things that just kind of feel more unnecessary, personally, but with this it felt very natural and believable and just fab. Like the performance and the chemistry between those two was just incredible, and I really, really loved that. I really loved seeing that, and I think it's so... there was no, like, thing about it being, oh, the Doctor's gay here, right? It's about the Doctor is falling in love with someone over the span of this episode and loses them very quickly, and it happens to be a man, and I like that because it sort of makes it's sort of telling this sort of like old-fashioned romantic story, and I love that with a bit of a sad ending, but you get all of that within one episode, and I love it. So I think it's brilliant for queer rep. I absolutely do, and obviously I'm not really one to speak about it as a fucking straight cis white man. I don't feel that my opinion bears much weight, but I loved it, and I really, really enjoyed that. You know, people who want to be seen in Doctor Who more and deserve to be seen in Doctor Who more, in just shows and TV shows and films in general. I thought it was really special, and it made me really emotional that they just went all in with it. And you know what, it pisses off the right people, and that's what I like about it. It's the same thing with having like trans people in Doctor Who. We should absolutely, you know, be casting trans people, have trans characters, as well as we should be having, you know, gay characters and bi characters, non-binary characters, and like asexual characters, and just you know, exploring like the wonderful like uniqueness of people and just different things that are out there, as opposed to just what we've seen on TV and film for the last 100 years, right? So yeah, there's definitely people who have got more insightful conversations to be had about it. But for me, I loved it, and I was delighted with the way the episode came out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that goes on to the other thing. It's like, I thought the aliens were great. For me, the thing about this series is like, I don't love this series. I really, really like it. Yeah, the kiss between Captain Jack and the Ninth Doctor, I completely agree that that's the first same-sex kiss in Doctor Who, and it was hugely significant. But, like, it's not like a romantic kiss, that, is it? In the same way, it's like, it kind of, in a way, from Captain Jack, right? But Captain Jack is, well, we know who Captain Jack is, you know, he's John Barrowman, isn't it? For that, it's like, it's not the Doctor in like sort of falling in love with Jack and kissing him. It's Jack saying goodbye because he knows he's probably going to die, and he's showing affection in that moment before he says goodbye. I think there's a difference between that, and that was a phenomenal bit of representation anyway, because it was the first same-sex kiss in Doctor Who. But this is on another level where it feels so just beautifully done, and that's the crux of the story. It's not just a moment, you know what I mean? As a queer person who's very aware of how tough things are getting now, the fact that RTD just said "F you" to the anti-woke mob was such a boost. Yeah, absolutely, and I love that. But what I was saying is, for this, I've enjoyed this season of Doctor Who, I really have, and I'm buzzing for the finale because I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it and how they're going to run with that. But for me, I feel like every episode this series has been like not really by the numbers Doctor Who, which is good. But I think because of the whole filming schedules thing, you have Ncuti, who was only available for a few episodes. Space Babies was probably relatively normal. It's a standard opener, but it wasn't like, because it isn't a season opener, it's not like a normal, just like middle of the season Doctor Who episode, which are usually the best ones, right? Devil's Cord was just like quite high concept because we're dealing with gods and music and all that sort of thing, and it had musical numbers in it. That's relatively different, but still, that's kind of standard Doctor Who, right? And then we have Boom, which is all in one location, and it's a completely different conventional episode. We've not had an episode like that before, really. Then we have 73 Yards, which is Dr. Light, so that's not a normal story. Then we have Dot and Bubble, where the Doctor and Companion are basically on screens the whole episode. So again, mostly Dr. Light, a little bit like Blink, nothing particularly like by the numbers there. And then finally we get to Rogue, which I think is the most Doctor Who episode yet, to me. And I love that. It's not about doing it, and I love all the unique episodes, but I think the more unique episodes you get, and the more less conventional episodes you get, you sort of love a conventional one even more. I feel like it should be the other way around, like with, for example, Series 4, Midnight stands out because the rest of the series has really conventional, really solid Doctor Who episodes, right? Like Unicorn and the Wasp, and like Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, for example. Planet of the Ood, Pfizer Pompeii, standard, like, by the numbers, great, solid Doctor Who episodes. That's why Midnight stands out. But if every episode in Series 4 was like Midnight, then something like The Doctor's Daughter probably would stand out a lot more. So I don't know if... But then, I'm not saying Rogue is to the quality of The Doctor's Daughter, it's a lot better than that. But... yeah, for me, because Rogue was mostly that, back to that basics, we haven't seen the Doctor properly in about 2 weeks. It was great to see him again as the Doctor. I've missed him, honestly. And it was great to see that. And then we got, like, a story that the Companion had, Ruby had her own little story where she's sort of experiencing the Bridget and stuff. The Doctor had his own story with the sort of shape-shifting aliens and Rogue and all that sort of thing. The aliens were daft as fuck, like they were so stupid. Silly, daft Doctor Who monsters. I love that, that's what I like. I love that. A little bit camp, a little bit cheesy, it doesn't really matter. It's just fun, and I like that. I really appreciate that sort of stuff with Doctor Who when it does that sort of thing. And... yeah, no, I love that, and I love the the running, the bit where Rogue grabs the Doctor's hand and says run, and then they run together, and then there's like the music ramps up, and they're just being chased around a garden. That's, to me, that's Doctor Who, that's what I like. And I was very aware going into it that after this episode we're going into the finale, where it's going to be massive and grand and this huge scale thing. And I think my only downside of the series actually is, maybe years ago I would have said, oh, Doctor Who has like a 10-episode series or a 12-episode series, but it has 2-4 episodes of filler, right? So 8 episodes is absolutely fine, but actually it's not. The filler actually is very important, and this episode wasn't filler, but God, it would have been nice to have a bit more sort of standard Doctor Who around it, especially knowing that they've already filmed Series 2. It would have been nice if they'd gone back to the 10-episode structure. Why do we need to go to 8 episodes when... clearly there's a demand for more, and clearly they're able to schedule ahead. So for me, that's why I loved Rogue. Also, the fact that it's written by different people probably helps as well, because it's just not exactly the same style, and it feels a little bit more unique. Now, I'm buzzing for the finale, and I'm very excited with what Russell's done with this series so far. I'm hoping that the finale can deliver to elevate the season, because a finale is the sort of how the series leaves you. And that's what you're going to remember. So it needs to be good. And I think if it is good, it will definitely be one of the better series. But if it doesn't, it will be one of the weaker ones. And I think it's very dependent on that, because we've had some great episodes. But there's been a few mixes in there. And you sort of look at the whole package and you go, is this as strong as X, Y, and Z? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyone not really feeling the connection between Ruby and 15? Millie and Shooty have had amazing chemistry. We've seen none of their bonding together on screen. I think it's a balance. I think we've seen more there than we have in previous eras. I'm not trying to slag off Chris's era, but I'm only just saying it as a point of reference. For me, I felt like Jodie and Mandip had a lot of chemistry off screen, but not as much on screen, if that makes sense. And then with Shooty and Millie, I do think it's the same thing. They have a lot of chemistry off screen, not as much on screen, but I still think more than what we've had in the past. I think Ruby's got a lot of depth to her character, and their relationship is really sweet. I just feel like we needed a little bit more time to sort of understand that before Shooty's like, oh yeah, this is my best friend Ruby Sunday. It's like, is she? It feels that you've just met her. Like, that's the whole thing. I don't think they'll increase the episode count. I think it's a standard sort of Disney release now, and we have it with Star Wars. As an avid Star Wars fan, it's pretty much the same there. Unless it's an animated series, it's usually going to be 8 episodes, or Andor, which is an exception, and it's brilliant. So you'd think they'd learn from that sort of thing as like a series package. But yeah, for the most part, 8 episodes is the standard structure nowadays. Talking of Star Wars, it's a good little segue, isn't it? I am going to do it again. Lovely weekly listeners, weekly viewers, all that sort of lovely jubbly stuff. We have a podcast. We do. It's called Nostalgia Bait. We have a new episode every single Thursday. We've got a bit of a daft one coming this Thursday, which I'm really excited about. But the last one actually was a Star Wars one, where we talk about the recent Star Wars project. So if you are a Star Wars fan and you want to hear me talk about Star Wars and not Doctor Who, then you can check out the podcast Nostalgia Bait here on Spotify. Or, if you like, it's also... Fucking hell. Every time I do it, someone's like, no, really? Every time I do it. Or you can check out our YouTube channel. Believe it or not, we have a Nostalgia Bait YouTube channel now, which has our full-length video versions of the podcast, which you can watch. Full-length video versions if you want to see our lovely faces as we live react, as well as all of our funny clips and shorts and all that sort of lovely stuff. You can check it out on here. Oh, these have done well, haven't they? That's fun. I like that. But yeah, feel free to check out this channel. I will link it in the chat. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd really, really appreciate it. Get on all your YouTube accounts and subscribe to this brand new channel. We're trying to grow it. 58 subscribers at the minute, which is incredible. And I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, if you haven't already seen the channel version, at the very least, which we've only just launched a couple of weeks ago, actually last week, please do go and check it out. Would really, really greatly appreciate that. And yeah, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on all that sort of thing. But yeah, if you want to watch the full-length video ones, they are on here, and they'll be continuing to come out weekly, as on Spotify as well. So, look, I can't help that I have passions for presenting and want to do a thing, but I am very aware of the stereotype, archetypal little role of 2 white guys on the internet talking about nerdy stuff. I'm very, very aware. It's not a very, it's not a very popular category, I think, in the podcasting world. I think we need more of it. That's a joke, by the way. We don't. But I will happily contribute because I like having a podcast and I like talking about stuff. And please listen to me. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, that's fun. And then, as also, if you're not already aware, every Tuesday after we finish streaming here, we go over to Twitch, where I go and stream on my Twitch channel, which we're almost at 700 followers. It would be very lovely if you're not already following that to go and check that out. But we go over to Twitch and we play some video games, and we're currently playing Crash Twin Sanity, one of my favourite childhood games that is very poorly emulated, but we're trying our best. We'll see if it works. But yeah, go and check it out. Go and have a bit of fun with it. We'll be going live on there from about 8 o'clock. So as soon as this live stream ends, we'll be heading over there. Still answering your Doctor Who questions. Still chatting about Doctor Who. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, overall, yeah, we'll be going. I don't know. That wasn't a sentence. Anyway, so keep letting me know what you think, and we're gonna play as we always do. We're gonna play 13. Been a bit of a shorter live stream today, I know, but we play 13 because we're gonna do this. So I'd love to know your thoughts on Rogue. Yeah, I really very much would like to know your thoughts on Rogue, everyone. So please do let me know that. And I'd love to. I might have a little live chat here actually, just so I don't have to look very far. So what? Yeah, please do let me know what you think of the episode. Any questions you have for me? Any theories? Anything like that? Is also more than a. Oh, that was very clever, George, wasn't it? More than appreciated, as always, if you have any fun questions or things you want to know, either about Doctor Who or anything else. I'm happy to answer all questions. Fucking hell, what am I doing here? This is not a very good setup. I have got a fucking a thing. I might just put it back up here. It's worked every other bloody week, isn't it? Right. Jesus Christ. Isn't the actor who plays Rogue a little bit too famous to be a recurring character on Doctor Who? Well, you'd think that, but then it's a Disney product now, isn't it? So for me, I'm sort of like, well, maybe, because he's not like he's a recurring character, but he's not a main character in the show, right? And that's the sort of luxury you get. You can sort of do that, and if he liked being on the show, there might be an exception to that, you know? So I like that to an extent. And I think Jonathan Groff is just so good. Love him in Hamilton. We actually have got one of those moments, haven't we? That in the Saranga Conundrum, 13 mentions Hamilton, and having seen every single production of it, which means that the 13th Doctor, or at least the Doctor at some point in their lifespan, maybe prior to 13, has seen a production of Hamilton with Jonathan Groff playing the King, George III, in it, prior to him appearing in Doctor Who as Rogue. So there's a fun little thing for you there. Rogue felt very traditional, but I wish we got to see the Doctor and Ruby landed. How the Doctor and Ruby landed there. I felt like the character of Rogue was slightly mid for me. I didn't get the instant feeling of like I did with Jack or River. Completely fair enough. Oh my god, we haven't even talked about Richard E. Grant. Oh my fucking... I genuinely... I know it's a bit of a meme where he's like, I punched the air. I fucking did punch the air. I was so excited with that. That was amazing. What a moment. It took me a hot second because I knew some reviewer put on, they were like, this scene with the Doctor's heads is going to blow your fucking mind. Die Hard fans are going to either love or hate it or whatever. And I was like, here we go. I cannot wait for some more canon-destroying stuff to happen because I love the chaos of it and I think it's very, very funny. And I look at the faces and I'm like, and I immediately spot it. I go, that's not a Doctor I recognise. Who is that? I'm racking my fan brain. I watch it as it comes around and it clicks. That is Richard E. Grant. So, one of two things. They're either canonising... Well, it's one of three things. Either they're canonising Scream of the Shalka, which is great, and I love that. If they are doing that, what a slay. What a... Oh, man. The fact that was natural for me as well. It wasn't even like... I wasn't even, like, I don't know. It wasn't even a joke. I was just, I genuinely was meaning that fully seriously. Yeah, I'll stick with it. What a slay. Yeah, I mean, that's class. That's a class act, canonising Scream of the Shalka. If that is what they're doing, of course, which is the other thing. So, they could be doing that. They could be just going... Well, Richard E. Grant played the Doctor in Scream of the Shalka, but obviously Scream of the Shalka doesn't really work in canon, so we'll just canonise his Doctor, but not that story or whatever, right? But... And then the other alternative, of course, is these are the writers from... the writers of this episode were from Loki, and they obviously worked with Richard E. Grant on the set of Loki, who played Loki. So there's also a high chance that it was just one of those things of like reusing an old actor to go, hey, look, a new version of the Doctor, ha ha ha. Not realising, of course, that fans would have an absolute fucking meltdown if they knew the significance of that. So maybe it was a call from Russell. Maybe it wasn't a call from Russell. Like, we actually just don't know. But that's always the fun of it. For me, I don't care where it comes in canon. I don't care at all. I think it's really, really cool, and I think it kind of goes hard that they're like, who cares about canon? It is what it is, and I'm like, yep, it is, and I absolutely fucking adore that. I think that's exactly what like Doctor Who just needs to be at this point. There's too many Big Finish stories, comic books, novels, all that sort of thing. It's not Star Wars. We haven't got like a singular like continuity that seems to last and be completely concrete. Because Doctor Who is an amalgamation of different writers and things over many, many years, longer than Star Wars has been around. So there's no way of being able to accurately say what's canon, what's not, when you get to a certain degree. And I think that's absolutely fine. We get to the point of like Scream of the Shalka, and I think it's just fun at this point to just go, fuck it. Timeless Child, we had plenty of different options. We could basically establish that there can be other versions of the Doctor out there that we don't know of. They might be from the Doctor's future, they might be from before we knew them. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, as long as the show's going, the Doctor is immortal. There's no threat of them dying because they're always going to regenerate, whether it's because they're some sort of immortal Time Lord from a different planet altogether, or whether it's because of they just keep getting more regeneration cycles or something like that. And then, of course, there's the possibility that he's the Great Intelligence, but yeah, we can't rule out anything these days. Not with Doctor Who. That's what I quite like. I don't think Richard E. Grant is going to have any sort of significant bearing. I don't think he's going to appear as the Doctor anytime soon, but hey, I would fucking adore it if he did. He deserves to have a proper outing as the Doctor. He's great. Oh. Richard E. Grant spent a day on set to get his photo done for the hologram scheme. Really? I did not know that. Oh, David Warner tribute would have been very good. Did you hear the photo was new? I did not hear that. Interesting that there were other doctors considered. Is it where? Can you just quickly? And I know that what I'm saying now might just get ignored. But whoever said about that whole thing about him getting a headshot done, where was that confirmed? Was that in the behind the scenes thing? Because I haven't watched Unleashed yet, and I haven't watched the online behind the scenes video because I haven't had the time. But I'm very excited to, and that sort of stuff is what I'm really interested in. Why was there a specific choice made to include Richard E. Grant as the Doctor there? That's really interesting. What do you think about the Sean Pertwee theory? What is the Sean Pertwee theory? Tell me. If it's that it was on IMDb, therefore it's canon for the finale, just stop. Please stop. We've had this for years. It doesn't... It was dumb then, it's dumb now. People theorising stuff based on... No! Fuck, that's annoying. Oh yeah, the Tales from the TARDIS as well. I forgot about that. So it was announced that there's going to be a brand new Tales of the TARDIS coming out on the 30th of June? No, maybe not 30th of June. Or maybe. Or maybe it's the 20th of June. I think it might be the 20th of June. Because it's going to be before the finale. Which is great. Can you imagine if Richard E. Grant was in the next episode? Probably not. I mean, surely fucking not. That would be crazy. I mean, probably not if they've announced that he's come back to get a headshot. That seems like... Oh, he must have been honoured to do that. That must have been really nice for him to come in and just be like, you are officially a Doctor now. But you'd sort of think that if they're doing that, they'd want to do something with that in the future. Well, fucking Big Finish will, knowing them. Love it, though. Leaving the cinema at 1 AM. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. Hey, some of you have never been to a midnight screening and it fucking shows. People are like, oh no, not midnight. And it's like, Man, I went to a Star Wars screening, right? When Rise of Skywalker came out. Now, I don't like Rise of Skywalker, but that's a separate thing. When I went to see like Rise of Skywalker for the very first time, it was the midnight screening, and it was a triple bill. So it was 3 2.5-hour films, with the final one starting at midnight. So try that on for size. Started at about 7 o'clock in the evening. Watched Force Awakens, then that finished. Then about a 10-20 minute break. And then Last Jedi, 2.5 hours again. Then about a 10-20 minute break. Got to midnight, and then we watched the brand new film for the very first time at midnight, which is also a 2.5-hour film, almost 3 hours. Getting out of the cinema at about fucking 2:30 in the morning, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know how I got back home from that, to be honest. We probably got a taxi. Fuck's sake, that was shit. What a terrible attempt that was. Oh yeah, we just don't neck the Tango Ice Blast then. That's usually my solution. But I'm buzzing to see the Doctor Who finale in cinemas. That's going to be such an exciting experience. Like, I can't fathom it. This year is so exciting for Doctor Who stuff. I'm going to the Doctor Who proms as well, in London, which I'm so excited about. I mean, that's a childhood dream, seeing the Doctor Who proms at the Royal Albert Hall. So that's yeah. Hey, and if it is Sutekh, I mean, Christ, you're right. Yeah, on the big screen would be unbelievable. I've only just recently watched Pyramids of Mars for the very first time, for that exact reason, of course. I think we'll get a break in the middle of the Doctor Who screening, or maybe they'll just go straight into it. I don't know. I think they might just go straight into it, because at the end of the day, the first one's just 45 minutes. So they almost may as well just go straight into it. I have an uncle who works at Doctor Who, and he told me the finale is about Sutekh versus the Rani. Do you think... That's quite funny. It would be even funnier if you were fucking right. I wouldn't complain, that sounds fucking great. Maybe a bit too much going on, but not too bad. If it is Sutekh, that would be amazing. And you're right, the voice actor is alive. He has also been in Doctor Who since. He played the voice of the oh my god, the Beast in the Satan Pit. That was it. Played the devil. He played the literal devil. Interestingly, Ncuti said he wanted to play against the devil from that exact story. So that's funny. Huge if true. Will you do a review for Pyramids now you've seen it? Probably not an official review, unless Sutekh is in the finale, in which case I'll consider it. My review schedule at the minute is a little bit skewed, because obviously I'm a couple of weeks behind the new episodes. I have a review for Dot and Bubble written but not recorded or edited or anything. I usually record and edit in the same night, so I usually record it and then immediately edit it, so it's sort of like a big job. And I haven't got anything done for Rogue yet. And then surprisingly, I have actually got a Star Beast review written, recorded, and semi-edited, but I didn't get it finished in time. So I was aiming to have a Star Beast review, a retrospective Star Beast review, which I'm actually quite proud of, to be honest, out for Space Babies coming out. And I didn't, so I just was like, well, fuck that then. I guess I'll do that after the series. So I'm waiting till the series is done, and then I'll release my retrospective Star Beast review. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere as soon as this season is over. I'm going to be continuing to make content where possible. Probably not week in, week out. I'm going to need a little bit of a break, but I'm still going to be making content. We're still going to be streaming the Who Bulletin every single week. And yeah, I'm still going to have content coming out. Obviously, the podcast is out as well. That'll always be coming out weekly, hopefully. So yeah, just keep an eye out on that sort of stuff. Concentrating now. Pyramids watch along my uncle, friend's cousin's cat says Shitty Gatwa has the Rani the whole time. Has been the Rani the whole time. That's very funny. Who do we think Mrs. Flood is? We've seen a photo of Mrs. Flood in the bedroom with Cherry Sunday, which is not how that's not how I meant to sound it. But there has been a promo photo released of that. So I wonder what they're up to. What is I think Mrs. Flood is going to be some sort of returning character for sure. Maybe the Rani, something like that. But I don't think she's going to be a big character for the finale. I think it's going to be for next series. I think it's going to be set up. I think it's like all one big long game with Russell. They've planned ahead. They've written ahead. They know what they're doing. I just want it to actually happen. I can't wait. So excited to see what we're going to get from the next couple of years. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's been teed up and planned ahead. Like, who's the Meeps boss? Who is the one who waits? Hopefully Sutek. The one who waits is almost here. So the one who waits is going to be in the next episode or the finale for sure. Has to be. So we're going to find that out probably. The one who waits is almost here. It's got to happen, hasn't it? It's just got to. The theory about Twist and Flood could be the Guardians. That's interesting. No, I don't think Mrs. Flood will be explained fully until next year. But there is going to be a scene with her. An important scene by the looks of it with her. So I have a feeling we'll probably get something of interest there. Struggling now. This is going to be hard to get out get out of this hole I've dug for myself. Wonderful. That was a good, lucky spin of events, wasn't it? God, I'm concentrating now. 20th anniversary for New Who next year. There doesn't need to be. I've always said that as well. I don't think we need to have an anniversary for every fucking celebration because we've just had the centenary special and we just had the centenary special and the 60th. I don't think we need another celebratory event. I think that's game over for that. Well, it is 8 o'clock, so we're going to be transitioning over to Twitch very shortly, but I will just wrap up a few of those conversations. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a 20th, and I'm hoping we don't because I feel like it's too much. The most I could hope for would be a casual multi-doctor story. I don't think there's any point updating this game with David Tennant and Shooty because the fact of the matter is no one's getting that bloody far. It's a hard game. Also, I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16 squares, so I guess you could, but still. Yeah. But yeah, I am not sure. I'm so excited for like the finale and to see what we're gonna get. And I think by this time next week we're gonna have such a big idea of what they're doing, who the big villain is, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm very, very excited to talk about it on these streams, to talk about it in reviews, to talk about it on other people's podcasts as well. So yeah, once again, going to promote all the lovely stuff. We are wrapping up here, but when we do finish, we're going to be going over to Twitch. So we're not finishing live streaming. We're just going to a different website to live stream, and that's going to be GB Sheard on Twitch, and I will see you over there shortly. But in the meantime, obviously, once again, podcast, check it out over on Spotify. I'm going to put it in the chat now once again, so you've got no excuse. And pinned in the chat is the link to the Nostalgia Bait YouTube channel, which you can check out here for all the video podcasts. Would really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already dropped us a follow on Spotify, or you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, please go and head over to those links now. Drop us a follow, drop us a subscription. Even if you don't listen to the episodes, it's absolutely fine. We're just trying to grow it, and if you don't mind, that follow could really, really help us out, and it would be a massive, massive little help to pushing our content a little bit further and, you know, growing this wonderful thing that me and Cooper have worked so tirelessly on for the last few months. We're so excited about it, and we have so much fun doing it. So if people are enjoying it and connecting with it, then that's more than anything we could ask for. So we really, really appreciate that. So please do go and check out those links. Go and give us a follow. Go and give us a subscription. And yeah, we're going to be going over to Twitch now. I'll put one more link in the chat, and that will be the twitch.tv/GBSheard link. We're going to be playing Crash Bandicoot, but we're still going to be talking about Doctor Who and all of our theories. So if you have some more theories, if you have some more questions, you want to talk more about Doctor Who, we can do it over on there for the next 2 hours as we stream until about 10 PM this evening. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, hopefully see you all there. Bye-bye. Have a lovely evening.